Hi there, welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona and welcome back if you're flowing with me again. Today's class is a full 60-minute intermediate flow, part of the intermediate series of classes. And in this class, we move quite slow as we begin, and then we build some heat and focus on flexibility and strength in equal parts. If you like to practice with props, I'd recommend a block today to elevate the floor, to meet your hands for your balances. And if you are enjoying the classes and you'd like to support me creating and posting each week, I'm on Patreon. All the details are in the description below. I really hope you enjoy your practice. Thank you for joining me. Namaste. And begin your practice in a child's pose, balasana, at the back of your mat. Knees wide, big toes toward each other, arms forward, forehead resting down. And if you'd like to make it more restful, letting your arms relax, or you can make it more active by pressing into the hands to drive the hips back. Taking a few moments here to commit to moving through your practice with the intention of supporting yourself through every movement, doing things that feel nourishing, kind, supportive, and just nurturing yourself. Finding your connection to the ground here and sensing your body breathing you. Your breath moving easily into your back body and your exhales falling softly into your belly, slow and calm. Start to walk your hands over to your right, creating a side bend, extending and opening into your left side body. And breathing and expanding into that space. These first few postures concentrating on creating more space to breathe, more room for the breath to expand on the inhales and for the muscles to soften on the exhales. And walk your hands up and over to the left now. Reaching through the right side ribs, creating more space for the right side waist to your armpit as you reach and extend through to your fingertips. And coming back to center, glide up onto hands and knees and moving into Anahatanasana. Keep your hips stacked over your knees, walk your hands forward, resting your forehead toward the floor, lengthening into both sides of your waist, creating more space to breathe into the ribs, the lungs, the chest and the shoulders. As you linger here, emphasize a slightly longer breath than you're normally accustomed to. We generally breathe only 40% of our lung capacity as we move through our day, so our breath is typically more shallow. So here in our practice, focus on breathing perhaps 50-60% of your lung capacity in your practice. A little more robust, more intentional. From here, thread your right arm under your left, right shoulder to the floor. And you can adjust your left fingertips back or to the side if it gives you more support. And now breathe into the upper back, creating more space under the shoulder blade. And then come back to center and over to the other side, reaching your left arm through, adjusting, maneuvering your shape for comfort to support yourself. And you can always make things a little bit more active by focusing on what's touching the ground and anchoring down into it more. So you could press more firmly through the right hand here. You can intensify by reaching And extending through the left fingers. Or you can always do less if that feels best. Creating more space to breathe through the back of your lungs. Unwinding from your twist, bring both hands to the mat and press back to your first downward facing dog. Easing your way into your comfortable stride, perhaps bending one knee then the other. And then both knees bend, give the hips a sway side to side. Starting to activate the muscles in your body, feeling into your shoulders, your chest, arms and legs. And supporting yourself with a long, slow breath in and a calm, slow breath out. It's really hard to rush a full breath. So just find that nice, long, even cadence. On an inhale now, shift forward to plank pose, holding and breathing here, building strength and stability in the front of the body, the arms, chest, belly and legs. And slowly lower to your belly for locust pose. Reach your arms back, lift your heart, activating the whole back seam of your body now. Straight arms engages the triceps, palms face down. And then turning the thumbs up slightly. Then explore bending your knees just slightly until you feel the hamstrings and buttocks muscles contract. Take one more breath in. And exhale, let everything relax. Press back, child's pose. Inviting yourself to soften. So in our practice, we're developing our capacity to engage and release, activating the body when we need to, relaxing the body when we need to. So when we experience stress, challenges, or anxiety, we can manage it, we can feel it. Then we can reduce it if we want to by taking slower breaths, by making movements. On your inhale now, glide up onto all fours and then return to your downward facing dog. We'll increase the tempo a little, forward to plank pose, shoulders balanced over the wrists, finding that engagement a little quicker this time. And then lower to your belly. Locust pose, arms reach back, engaging the back body, let everything lift. And then relax. And return to downward facing dog. And then we'll move with the breath, inhale coming forward to your plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, locust pose. And exhale back to downward facing dog. I'm going to build our warrior flow now. Raise your right leg up and back, down dog splits, and then bend your knee and open your hip. Right heel toward your left buttocks. Shoulders can stay level here, or left shoulder can drop down, whatever feels more natural for you. And then take an inhale, straighten and square your hips, and on an exhale, step up to a runner's lunge. Find your foundation here, your feet staggered, so all 10 toes point forward, knees, hips, shoulders straight ahead. And then when you're ready, rise up to a high lunge. And here the back heel can be pressing back to stretch into the calf if that feels good, or heel over the ball of your foot to contract and engage your thigh and your glutes. Arms can be straight up in a Y shape, or elbows can bend for a little less work in the shoulders. On your exhale now, transition into Warrior Two. Turn the back heel down, extending the arms out wide to a T. Again, finding your foundation, stability, what's touching the ground here. You can always make it more active by pressing down through the feet and even slightly drawing the feet apart from the center to create an isometric contraction in your inner thighs. You can keep the legs where they are. On an inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach your right arm up and back as you lunge a little deeper into the right thigh. And then straighten your right leg, reverse triangle, go further back, creating more space through your side. And then exhale, hinge from your right hip crease, reach forward and down, Trikonasana. Right hand can rest on your shin or the floor. Left arm straight up, or wrap the left arm around your back to relieve the shoulder. Eyes can gaze down, relaxing the neck, or up, strengthening the neck. On your inhale, rise up, exhale back to Warrior Two. And just like we came in, return to your high lunge. Pivot and pop up onto your left toes, arms reach up by your ears. And then on your exhale, fingertips to the floor and step up to the top of your mat. Open up halfway on your inhale. Exhale, fold and pause in your forward fold. Knees can bend. And you can catch opposite elbows there as you fold. Invite your neck and your head to relax toward the floor. And release your hands, bend the knees. On an inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Finding that engagement and stability again. So being able to fully disengage from the last pose, fully engage in this pose. On an inhale, press to stand, bring the arms overhead. On your exhale, we're going to forward fold over the legs. Open on your inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to plank pose. Greet your shape with a breath, your eyes forward. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, locust pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. On the left side now, lift the left leg up and back. Bend the knee, open your hip, heel toward your tail. Nice, calm, steady breathe. And then reach straight back with the left leg. Exhale, step up, runner's lunge. Take a moment to steady your posture. Stagger your feet and then rise up to your high lunge. Finding your optimal shape, a smooth breath. And just being aware no posture is a single body part pose. So if you find in this or any posture you're only feeling it in one location in your body, or you can only focus on those sensations, just give yourself permission to shift and arrange yourself so you can take a more comfortable, spacious awareness of your whole body. Opening into your Warrior Two, back heel lands, arms extend out. And then reverse your warrior, reach back. Straighten the front knee, go further back. And then on an exhale, triangle pose, hinge forward and down. A few breaths here. Back to your Warrior Two. Return to your high lunge. And exhale, hands to the floor, step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale to chair pose, stay for a few breaths. Deepen the bend in the knees. And then inhale, rise to stand, arms reach overhead, touch your palms. Exhale, this time lower your prayer hands to your heart. We'll keep it flowing. On an inhale, sweep your arms overhead, catch your right hand to your left wrist. Exhale, side bend to your right. Hold and breathe here. And then come back to center, switch the hands and side bend to your left. Take a full cycle of breath. Inhale, arms overhead, and then swim your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Stay upright, breathe a long breath in, and then exhale, forward fold, deep bend in the knees as you go. Let your arms float away from your back, just finding your comfortable range in the shoulders. Front of the shoulders lift up away from the floor. On your inhale, release your hands to your shins, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back to plank. Hold for an inhale, and then exhale to the floor. Inhale to locust. Exhale back, downward facing dog. And either hold downward facing dog or child's pose for a few breaths here. And if you're in a child's pose, returning to downward facing dog, we'll move through that same sequence, moving breath to movement, pausing, and we get to our triangle. On your inhale, raise your right leg up and back, bend the knee, open your hip. Inhale, square your hips, and on an exhale, step up, high lunge. Reach your arms by your ears on your inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Take another breath. And then moving into your triangle pose. We'll hold and breathe here. Two straight legs pushing down where you touch the ground with your feet. So you have that upward energy through the legs. You can open and expand your limbs. Now bend your right knee, transitioning into side angle pose, Parshva Konasana. Right forearm to your right knee. Extend the left arm up or overhead, whatever feels best there. As you ground into your left foot, reach away, creating a long diagonal line through the left side body. Come back to your warrior two, torso upright. Back to your high lunge, pivoting on the back toes. And then exhale, hands to the floor, step up to the top of your space. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Chair on your inhale, motion the hips down and back. And this time, shift your weight into your right foot and lift the left foot just a little and balance. Switching sides, right foot lifts, left foot to the floor. Breathing smooth. And then right foot to the floor, back to chair. On an inhale, reach up. Stand tall, exhale, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen your chest forward. Exhale, step to plank. Greet your shape. Exhale to your belly. Inhale, locust pose, thumbs up, chest up, legs up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just pause and breathe, rooting down through all the knuckles of your fingers, your heels, lengthening through your spine. Inhale, raise the left leg up and back, bend your knee and open your hip. Inhale, square the hips. On your exhale, step your left foot up to your hands for high lunge. Inhale, arms rise overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Take another breath in and then exhale, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Just softening the right rib cage down so you find more length and space through the left side of your waist. And then bend into your left knee, side angle pose, your version, a shape that supports a full, comfortable breathe. Return to your warrior two, back to your high lunge, and then exhale, hands to the floor, stepping up. Open and fold with your breath. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Press your palms overhead and then lower your hands to your heart. Shift your weight into your right foot, let the left foot hover. Preparing for eagle pose, Garudasana, wrap your left leg over your right. And you can either stay here, hands to prayer for a little bit more balance, or take eagle arms, wrapping your right arm over, left arm under, palms compress, or holding opposite shoulders. Find your balance, focus your gaze. And then deepen your bend in the standing leg just a little bit more. Release and return to chair pose. Palms press overhead. And then exhale your hands to your heart center. Changing sides, balance on your left foot. Raise your right foot, wrapping your legs, right leg over your left. An option to wrap the arms, left arm over your right. On your inhale, unravel your legs, 2 feet to the floor, press to stand, gaze up. And then exhale, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back to plank, take a breath in, look forward. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale for locust pose. And exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Breathing smooth and deep, calm and long. Coming forward to plank pose and into side plank on your right. Turn your heels to the right and stack your legs, or place your right knee to the floor to modify. 3 steady breaths, lifting your right hip, engaging your obliques. And then return to plank pose on your inhale. And then go to the left side, Vashisthasana, right arm to the sky, left knee can touch down. And then back to center. On an exhale, lower to your belly for locust pose. And this time, reach your arms out wide to a T, or your arms forward alongside your ears. If that's too much, reach your arms back, creating more strength in the whole back of your body. And then release your hands, roll back, downward facing dog. And again, moving forward to plank pose on your inhale. This time, let's all bring the knees to the floor. If you're feeling strong, legs could be straight for this side plank variation, otherwise balancing on your right hand, your right knee, raise your left leg. So flexing your left foot to strengthen, engage the quads and the outer hip muscles, reaching your left arm up toward the ceiling. And then return to plank on your inhale and switch sides. So knees, left knee down, Right leg lifts toward parallel with the floor, right arm reaches up. And then we'll come back through center. Exhale to the floor, returning to your preferred locust pose, maybe arms out or forward. And then release. Rest back in downward facing dog. Now we'll bring those balancing aspects into our standing flow. If you prefer using a block for your standing balances, grab one now, give yourself that support, place it to the top of your mat. And then as you're ready, inhale, raise your right leg up and back, bend your knee and open your hip. Inhale, straighten and square your hips, and on an exhale, step up to your high lunge and pause there. Press your palms overhead, lower your hands to your heart center. Just get very steady in your right foot, soften out through the right toes, weight in your right heel. Moving into warrior three. Lean your weight into the front foot, float the left leg up any amount toward parallel to the floor. To modify fingertips to the floor or a block or any variation here. Arms can reach forward, out wide, or back alongside the body. So finding the qualities of locust through your back, lifting the heart, extending the spine. Then keep your left leg lifting, transition into half moon pose. Right fingertips to the floor or your block, turning your torso and hip open to the left. So same action we took in our side plank variation, strengthening the glutes, the outer hips. Focus your gaze to a single point. And then slowly step back, warrior two. Land lightly. Back through your high lunge. And then fingertips to the floor, step up to the top of your mat. Ardha Uttanasana, breath in. Uttanasana, breath out, forward fold. Breath in, Utkatasana, chair pose. And then press to stand, reach tall. We're refolding over the legs on your exhale. Inhale, lengthen up halfway. Exhale, either step back through a vinyasa or downward dog. You can take rest and we'll all meet up there. On your inhale, raise your left leg up and back. Bend your knee, open your hip. Inhale, extend the left leg straight back, and on your exhale, step up to high lunge. Rising slow, press your palms overhead, and exhale, lower your hands to your heart. So finding a stable spread and press through your left foot. And as you're ready, transitioning into warrior three. Right leg lifts. Connecting to an engagement through the back of your body. The more you engage, the lighter, more buoyant you'll feel. Transition into half moon pose, left fingertips to the floor or your block. Turning your torso and hip open to the right now. And then carefully step back to your warrior two, landing lightly as you go. High lunge on your inhale. And then hands to the floor, step up, top of your mat. Breathing in, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, soften in and release. Inhale, chair pose, recentering, 2 feet grounded, solid and stable here. And then press to stand, pray your hands. Take a moment to pause, hands to your heart. See if you can sense the pulse of your breath under your thumbs. Next, inhale, chair pose, sit low, raise your arms. And then press your palms. On an exhale, lower your hands to your heart center. We'll prepare for a twist. Take another breath in, fill up. Exhale and twist to your right. And either hook the left elbow to the outside of your right thigh, or you can modify here, left forearm can hug the front of your shins, right hand to the small of your back. Keep expanding the space between your ribs with your breath. Revolve and twist as you breathe out. You're going to keep the hands in prayer. Just send your gaze down to the floor. Balance on your right foot. And you can use your hands if you need to. Step the left foot back into a lunge twist. To modify, you can set the left knee softly down to the floor. Remain in your twist here. Open your arms wide. Take the left fingertips to the floor, either inside or outside the right foot. Right arm high toward the sky. And then we're going to come up to stand. Slowly raise your torso, transitioning into twisted high lunge. Right arm reaching back, left arm forward. Stay for a cycle of breath. Steady and root into your feet, and then on an inhale, reverse your lunge. Send your right hand down the back thigh, left arm to the sky. On your exhale, revolved half moon pose. Left fingertips to the floor or a block. Raise your left leg up. And now your right ribs turn to your right arm extending up. So try leading from your ribs rather than your shoulders to twist. We're not here for long because it's super hard. Release, eyes down, right hand to the floor. Step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold in. Inhale through chair pose. And then press to stand. Bring your hands to your heart center. Well done. Final standing flow side, left side. Before we move into that side, we'll just take a squat, so heel your feet wide. Then sweep your arms overhead, pray your hands, and slowly lower into Malasana Yogi Squat. And take a version here that accommodates your knees and ankles. And as an alternative, you could take a forward fold here if it feels more restful. Take about 3 to 5 cycles of breath to reset. Smoothing, calming the rhythm of your breath. And release your fingertips to the floor, raise your hips. Walk your feet together and then bend your knees, reach your arms, return to chair pose. Final round. Press your hands to prayer at your heart center. Take another breath in. Exhale and twist to your left now. And keep motioning your shins back in space, lifting your sitting bones toward your pelvis. And then find your version of the twist here. And keep your arms in place, send your gaze down to the floor, and you can use your hands. Balance on your left foot, step your right foot back into a lunge. Option to rest the right knee to the floor for more stability. And opening your arms wide now, right hand low, left hand high. And then really feel into your feet. Press down where you touch down and then lift and upright your torso. And stand into your twisting high lunge. Left arm back, right arm forward. And then on an inhale, reverse your shape. Send your left hand down your back thigh, right arm up. And when you're ready to launch, revolved half moon. Paravita, Ardha Chandrasana, right fingertips to the floor or a block, right leg lifts. Keep feeling for a steady breath. There's a rest coming up. Eyes down, hands down, and step up to the top of your mat. Well done. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And then just pause. Hook onto the big toes with your peace fingers and thumbs. Little bend in the knees, elbows wide. As you feel yourself breathe out, forward fold over your legs. Pause and breathe here, 5 steady breaths. And then release your bind, bend your knees, return to chair on your inhale. And then reach your arms forward just at shoulder height in front of you. Raise your heels so you balance on your toes now. And then slowly lower all the way down. And we're going to take a seat for boat pose. Anytime you need to use that exit ramp to make your way to a seat, do that. Find the soft part of your buttocks, and as you raise your feet, bend your knees, and you can support your posture with your hands behind your knees or reach your arms forward. Once you arrive, make a little bit more space between your belly, your sternum, extending the front of your spine. And then on an exhale, cross your arms over your chest and lower to Ardha Navasana, kicking the legs straight ahead, lean your torso back. Alternating now, inhale, return to boat. Exhale and lower. You can cross your arms or just wave them forward. Once more, inhale, boat. Exhale, low boat. Come back up and release. Take your feet to the floor. Shuffle your heels in close toward your buttocks. Wrap your arms around your shins and lengthen up through your spine. And then take the next few breaths to recline and relax down onto your back. Legs extending. Arms wide, letting go of all your effort in your body for a few breaths. Going from fully engaged to fully relaxed now. Taking a mini shavasana. Notice your breath. Perhaps you can sense your heart rate. Feel the support of the ground beneath you, always there for you. And taking 3 more slow, steady breaths. We'll move into an inversion. If you prefer a gentler practice or you have any neck or shoulder issues with shoulder stand, please support yourself here and modify in your version. So option here to take the legs straight up toward the ceiling instead. You could slip a folded blanket under your buttocks for more support. You can also bend the knees a little when they're up in the air if your hamstrings resist this shape. Just finding a comfortable restorative posture upside down for the next few minutes. If you're following along with me, we'll make our way into shoulder stand via plow pose, taking the arms alongside your body. And as you're ready, sweep your legs out overhead into halasana, plow. And your feet may or may not reach the floor, that's okay. Just concentrate on really pressing down through the back of your shoulders, the back of your skull, and narrowing your shoulder blades in. So you're trying to maintain a hollow and natural curve through the back of your neck. Then take your hands to the small of your back and begin to raise your legs up toward the ceiling. Lengthen up through the inner seams of your legs to lessen the downward load on your upper body. So that idea of pressing down to have an equal amount of energy that rises up through your body, making you lighter, more buoyant. Then fix your gaze steady, make contact with your breath. And then lower your legs back out overhead, returning to plow pose. And if it's available, pause here for a few breaths, perhaps interlace your fingers behind your back, or wrap your fingers around the side edges of the mat so you've got something to hold on to, some leverage to narrow the shoulder blades. And then release your hands to the floor alongside your body. Bend the knees in toward your face. Slowly roll down the length of your spine. And if you had your legs up, here's where we'll all meet up. Feet to the floor, arms alongside your body. Transitioning into fish pose, Matsyasana. Placing your hands under your buttocks, palms down, extending your legs out straight along the mat. And then on an inhale, ballooning your chest toward the ceiling through the press of your elbows. Back of the arms, slightly tipping your head back. Come to rest on the top of your head, if that's comfortable. So you can open and close your mouth here to release. Open the jaw. And then reversing out of the pose now, chin to chest, lower your torso, bend your knees, and release your hands, tuck the knees in toward your chest. And then setting your feet to the floor now, preparing to twist, option to wrap and cross your right leg over your left, or simply stack your knees. And then rest your knees over to your left. So arms can split wide into a T shape, palms up or down, or you can cactus the arms. Then roll on the back of your head, send the gaze out to your right, completing the twist. And then coming back through center, we'll switch sides. Knees over to the right, legs wrapped or stacked. Someone's mowing outside and whippersnipping. Sorry about the noise. And then from here, we'll come out of our twist, we'll make our way into a seat, sitting upright. So you could just roll out to your side here or come back through center. Take a few rolls through your spine to come up. No rush. And setting up for Janu, Shavasana, head to knee pose. Extend your right leg out straight. Bend your left knee, rest your left foot to your inner upper right thigh. And then just take a little rock side to side on the sit bones so you feel level and balanced. On an inhale, reach your arms overhead. Lift and lengthen through your low back. On your exhale, tip your pelvis forward to fold out over your right leg. Right leg stays engaged, so you've got that action of pressing down, back of the leg into the floor. And then walking your hands back. Cross your right shin in front of your left shin. So you cross at the middle shins, narrow the knees, or if it's available and you're familiar with that double pigeon pose here, stack your right shin over your left like two fire logs. And again, on an inhale, reach your arms up by your ears, find length. Exhale and forward fold. And as you rest your hands to the floor, release and spread the muscles of your hips. You're just practicing longer exhales to encourage your hips to relax, your body to soften, your nervous system to calm here at the end of your practice. And then step your hands back, coming upright, changing sides, Janu Shavasana, left leg extending, toes flexed, right foot to the inseam of your left leg, arms rise on your inhale, and then forward fold on your exhale. Pause for a few steady breaths. And then rising back up, coming into your final forward fold, either left shin in front of your right or double pigeon. Breathe your arms overhead and then folding forward. And then easing your way back up, preparing for final rest, shavasana, collecting, gathering any additional layers or props you may wish to have to make yourself completely comfortable. And as you're ready, reclining back, placing your arms away from your body, palms face up. Separating your legs a little wider than your hips, and invite your feet to relax and fall out wide. And then smooth and unwrinkle your back body so you don't feel pinched or lopsided. And then scan your whole body. Notice anywhere where you may still be gripping, or perhaps there's some momentum left in your body. Consciously releasing it through your exhale. And just stay with that for a few moments. Focusing on your exhale is such a powerful tool for letting go. Open, create space for yourself. Breathing out on purpose. And directing yourself toward deep rest, effortlessness. And take this time to lay quietly inviting in a sense of nourishment, support, with a calm attention to breathe and your body, slowly and quietly letting go. And I'll be back to guide you back. And gently, softly begin to breathe a deeper breath. Bring some movement into your body, the fingers, toes, perhaps take a big stretch out overhead. And then when you're ready, bending your knees, feet to the floor. And rolling out to your right side. Take a few moments to pause. Blinking the eyes open, let the light in toward you. And then easing your way back up to sit. Thank you so much for joining me in your part of the world today. So grateful for your company. Take care. Namaste.